Welcome to the School of Self-Image for women who refuse to see themselves as anything less than extraordinary. My name is Tonya Leigh. When a woman comes into my world, the first thing that I feel is so much excitement because I know about the journey she's getting ready to go on. And while she's usually excited, she's equally terrified because change is uncomfortable. But my role in her life is just to hold this container of seeing her as nothing less than extraordinary. I grew up in the Bible Belt of the Deep South, down a dirt road, in a trailer. I remember growing up and sitting on my grandma's front porch, sipping sweet tea after church on Sundays. You know, we didn't have the most material things, but we did have a lot of love. All of us, boy or girl, when we're little, we have dreams. I mean, how many of us dreamed of being ballerinas or astronauts? But over time, you forget about your dreams. You start to have the day-to-day responsibilities of life. And for me, I got married at 18 and I had my daughter when I was 22. And so I grew up very quickly. It's an incredible time in my life because I had my daughter and she's like the best gift that's ever been given to me. I also just lost touch with who I was. Before I knew it, I was 75 pounds overweight. And I remember just looking in the mirror one day when I was working as a nurse. I didn't recognize the woman staring back at me. And then there was one particular night while I was working in the intensive care unit as a nurse, and there was a doctor who was visiting, and we were just sitting around chatting, and he turned to me and he said, "Tonya, who do you want to be?" I didn't realize that I had a choice in who I could be. I just thought who I was predetermined. I thought it was genetics. It was fixed. There was no changing it. But when the doctor asked me that question, I think that's when I started to question, could I decide? And the answer is yes. We all get to choose who we want to be, but we have to break up with parts of ourselves. And I think that's painful, just like with any breakup. Someone that's been in your life and they're so familiar and it's so comfortable breaking up with that part of yourself. It feels like a death, and I had to let parts of myself die in order to birth the woman that I wanted to be. When I first went about change, actually one of the first things that I did was change my style. I started to look at how I could dress in a way to embody the woman I wanted to be, because style, I feel like we underestimate it. Style has the ability to keep retelling the story of your past, or it can tell the story of who you're becoming. I've been coaching women for over a decade now, and one of the things that I've realized is that everything comes down to a woman's self-image, how she thinks and sees herself. It's creating her entire life. And one of the most rewarding things for me is when I see a woman change her image of herself and how that impacts her entire life. And so I started the School of Self-Image for that purpose. I've taken the best of my life's work, everything from personal development and style to image, to create a very comprehensive approach that helps a woman change from the inside out, but also from the outside in. Because again, when a woman looks in the mirror and she says to herself, "I love you, I want the best for you, and I've got you," there's no stopping her.